So very spontaneously now, I'm gonna get the meditation this morning, and we shall do it tomorrow morning. Yes, so welcome to all of you. Thank you for being here. And this morning, I would love to share a beautiful practice to give us a little bit more a correct view into the reality of things. And I think it's a very powerful practice which we can apply easily into our day-to-day activities, into our day-to-day life. And it's quite a practice we do as Buddhists quite often, to always remind ourselves of the interdependent nature we all share. Okay, let's start. And I guess someone is not having the microphone off. So please, I invite you all to mute. So otherwise it's on the recording also. Good. Thank you so much. Let's start the practice. So take a moment here first to make yourself comfortable, grounding yourself in your sit bones, elongate the spine, roll the shoulders up and back, softening the gaze, softening all the muscles in your face. You can even invite a gentle smile if you want. And then one more time, taking one or two stronger inhalations through the nostrils and exhaling through the mouth, letting go. One more time, breathing in through the nostrils, exhaling through the mouth, melting away any remaining tension, any remaining tightness. And now feel your body is more relaxed, arrived in the space. Now the mind can easily follow. And here we can give our mind the permission for this next 25 minutes or so to be fully present and here right now. Nothing better, nothing more important in your life than you could do than just being here and meditating. And then we can add on our motivation or inspiration for our practice by recognizing all the preciousness we have in this present moment. We have a healthy body and mind, a lot of outer circumstances supporting us, already recognizing the interdependency of each and cause and effect enables us now to practice meditation together. Instead, allow your heart to open and let us do from the beginning this practice for the benefit, the development of each and every sentient being towards enlightenment. And this motivation now in our heart, let's start first to with a little practice of focus meditation, of calm abiding. So all you have to do is just notice now sensations of the breath in the area of your nostrils. So you're placing single-pointedly your awareness into the area of your nostrils. A small part between the upper lip and the actual entrance. And starting observing all sensations in regard with the breath in that area. And make sure simultaneously the eyes, all the muscles in the face staying relaxed and soft. And your interest is in the breath only, how the breath And when the breath is entering through the nostrils and the breath is leaving, single pointedly observing the breath, a few more moments here in the area of the nostril. Heavy inhalation, coming home, heavy exhalation. And then we can let go of the breath. And now allow my voice to guide you into this practice of the meditating on the interdependent nature of reality. And we will work with some visualizations, and you see if it doesn't work for you that well, try to work with the sensations, with the feeling instead, and you can always take the breath to come back. Now bring to your mind or to your heart an external object that you feel strong attachment to it. Might be your phone or your home or your favorite meal or food. Something that you crave, something that you find pleasure in it, something that you might get upset if you don't get it or if it would be taken away from. For now, try not to work with a person or any other living thing. Just use an object that is part of your world. So take a moment now to form a mental image of your phone or your laptop or your home or your favorite meal or food, whatever you attach to it. Now, once you have this object of attachment in your mind and your visualization, now take a moment to acknowledge that it does bring you some conventional pleasure and it is useful and beneficial for you in many ways in your life. So for now, for some more moments, feel gratitude for that thing which bring you joy, which makes your life easy, whatsoever. Feel gratitude for it and that you have it. Now we dive deeper into that. Now we seek to understand some of the ways in which we mistakenly see this object, to come to know the reality better. So for that, we're gonna start examine the parts of our object. So first, let us meditate on the parts of the object. We start with the gross parts. So first, look at the gross parts of the object with your phone. Mentally disassemble it into its case. So let's take in my case, I'm going to take my phone as an example, and I'm going to work with that. But whatever object you choose, it will work the same. So with your phone, you can now mentally disassemble it into its case, the screen, the battery, the electronics, all the wires. Another example, if you would have chosen your home, you can take it apart into the floor, the walls, the windows, the plumbing, the wires, the texture and fixture that it's made of. Or if you choose a food object, think of all the ingredients in your favorite meal, the vegetables, the grains, the oils, the dairy products, whatsoever. So take a moment now to disassemble your mental object of attachment. And then we can come from the cross parts to the subtler parts. Now think of the subtler parts of your object. How your phone or your house or your meal is made, proved by signs of molecules, atoms, and subatomic particles sibbling around in an incredible, immeasurable way of speed, with mostly empty space between them. And how our perception of color and form, sound, taste, smell, and touch are illusions that our brain imposes upon these colorless, soundless particles. Just do this a few more moments here for your object. Imagine the molecules, the atoms, the subatomic particles, how they're sibbling around. Secondly, become very aware that how our perception of color, form, sound, taste, smell, touch are illusions that our brain imposes upon a colorless, soundless particle. And now our next step is that we meditating on the causes that brought the objects and the parts together. Now I invite you to think about the causes that brought these parts together. Immediate causes, which with your phone, you can see that, imagine the people that designed it, the people that manufactured it, that brought all the sub-components together, the people who transported these components by air, by ship, by truck, or on foot between dozens and many different countries. And it's the same with the parts of your home, right? Imagine where all the raw materials were made and how they came to be in your home, who designed them, or grew them, or melted them, or cut them, or brought them to the place where are they now. And simultaneously, also we can apply this to our food, bring to mind the people who planted the grains, the crops, who watered, who fertilized them, who processed or cooked the food, sold them to you. And how finally your delicious meal ended up in your home and then finally in your belly. And these were immediate causes, right? So have another moment here. Think about the causes, about the object you choose to work with today, and about all the people who brought, who worked to bring all these parts together to make your object available for you. And then you can secondly think about the deeper causes. Think further back to the evolution of science and technology, agriculture, or even society itself that made the cultivation, the collection of these raw materials possible. I mean, think back to the evolution of intelligent life on Earth that led to the existence of human being and being able to work together like this. Think back to the dawn of life just 4 billion years ago, back to the birth of our star or solar system, back further to the explosion of earlier stars that led to the formation of heavy elements like carbon and oxygen that form most of the elements of life on Earth. And you can think even back to the start of the universe, when the simpler elements like hydrogen and helium formed, and see how the object before you, it's connected to the entire history of the universe. See how it's still connected to the entire universe in this moment. How each particle in your objects feels the gravitational pull of every other particle in the universe, and also interacts electromagnetically with others nearby. Just take another moment to realize this in for your object. You choose the interconnectedness, the deeper cause, the evolution of science and technology. And now our next point we're going to reflect on is meditating on the mind that labels the caused parts. So now consider the role of the mind in reality. The collection of parts in front of you, right? Countless trillions of particles, and they are grouping into molecules, cells, human-made structures. Think about all the causes that brought them together. See how your mind imposes onto the continuity of parts and the causes that brought them there to label it as your fault or home or me. And try to see this label and your mind applying that label. And try also to see it as equal, as a participant in the existence of your object, the labeling. And when we do this, we can also see that other people and other types of minds might not see your object the same way that we do. They may not feel as strongly about your object as you do. They may not care about it at all, or even see it as separate, distinct object. And now, after all this contemplation, mentally look at your objects one more time. And of course, things do still exist, convention, the conventional reality. Now that you see the object before you in this much richer, interdependent way, can you look at your object now? After all this contemplation, can you recognize the interdependence? And recall again how you ordinarily see it as a singular, independent, unchanging thing. But how shallow our ordinary sense of being is compared to how things really exist when you analyze them in this way. And this is reality, right? Things do exist. Yes, but the things they're existing are interdependently in a changing way, composed of parts that have causes and the mind that labels them. And for a time as your object. And when the labeling starts, then notice how your strong feeling of attachment arises. But this can be reduced through freeing reality in this way we just did. The illusion of the independent object that has the power to bring me pleasure or pain, to seeing it rather more in the interdependent way of experiencing reality. And carrying our understanding of this ultimate reality, right? So one more time now, look at your object. And can you mentally look at your object and implementing now all the insights from this last moments together? Can you see the interdependent nature of reality through looking at that object? And then try to hold that feeling for some more moment. Make it your inside. And when the feeling fades away again, guide yourself back to your object of attachment. One more time. Try to see now this object through the eyes of ultimate reality. The ultimate reality of interdependence. And now I invite you to make an aspiration for your day to day, to continue trying to see things today much more through the eyes of reality, of ultimate reality, especially when strong feelings of attachment or aversion arise towards one option. I invite you to see through the illusion of a solid, separate, unchanging object, to the reality, the ultimate reality of richly changing, interdependent objects, that it truly is, and objectified only through our mind, and temporarily imposing a label upon it of a phone, home, meal, or anything else. And understanding reality in order to benefit others. And this is now my way to close this meditation, to we meditate on the nature of reality like this, not just because it's interesting and inspiring, but also to soften our mind, to awaken our interdependency or a role in the universe. And this will give us a sense of responsibility in our daily, everyday actions, and even in our thoughts. And this will bring a positive effect in the world. If we want to make the world a better place, let us all carefully attending to our every word and every daily word and every daily deed, and seeing the world through the eyes of interdependence. With that, I invite you now, let go of our visualizations. Just come back to the breath for another minute. Notice the breath in the belly, the nostrils, grounding yourself back. And then let us close this meditation, this love and light, dedicating out from our heart to all the hearts of each and every sentient being. May each and every sentient being achieve happiness, enlightenment, and the causes of happiness. Mani Padme Hum, may wisdom and compassion arise deeply within us. Thank you so much for practicing with me. And I will see you back on Monday. Thank you. If you have any questions, you're most welcome to write or you ask now.